Hello, boys and girls. So today we are going to be working on value scales. Now, value in art means the difference between a darker shade and a lighter shade. So it's the difference between shadows and highlights. So today we're going to be making our own value scales in our sketchbooks. I have this sheet if you want to practice with this, or you can make your own in your sketchbook. So what you'll have to do is you're going to make a large rectangle going across your paper. So if you're in your sketchbook, you can just have a page like this and draw a rectangle like this. You don't have to have this many squares. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares inside of that rectangle. You don't have to have that many. If you just want to have 4 to start off with, that's fine. If you want to do more, that's fine too. I am going to use this sheet though right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to know my pencil and how hard I can push on it. So I'm going to start by doing my darkest square first. And I'm going to press really super hard on my pencil. Not so hard that it breaks, but I'm going to press pretty hard on it to see how dark I can get that rectangle. Now the next one, I'm going to color that in too, but do you think it's going to be lighter or darker than this one? It's going to be lighter, right? So I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm not going to press down as hard as I did on that first one. And I'm really getting to know my pencil by seeing what it does when I press down really hard on it, or lightening up my pressure. I'm figuring out what it does. And that way, when I go to draw something realistically or three-dimensionally, then I will have the techniques to realize how I can do that. Now this one, is it going to be lighter or darker? It's going to be lighter, right? So I'm going to lighten my pencil up even more. And a trick with value, sometimes we might not be able to see it or think we don't see it. If we squint our eyes at something, then we can see the value a little bit better. So I can tell that this one right here is lighter than this one. I need to darken this one up just a little bit right in this section. There we go. Now this one is going to be even lighter still. So I'm going to just lighten up my pressure a little bit more. The next one will be a little bit more than that. A little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more. So you can barely even see it in this last box. Some of these I would want to darken up just a little bit more. This one looks like I could a little bit. So sometimes you have to backtrack and redo some things just by observing or looking at what it is that you made and see how you can improve it. Notice how I'm also coloring in one direction. That helps it not look super sloppy. There, so there is my value scale. Now I can use different pencil techniques. There's a technique called hatching and cross hatching. Now, hatching is when you have lines going in one direction. And the closer they are together, the darker it looks. And then I would go in the opposite direction. This is called cross hatching because the lines are crossing. So it almost looks like fabric. Then this one, the lines would get farther apart than the darkest one. Now this isn't a technique that you have to use. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of how this looks, but it can add some interesting texture to your artwork. And then you would keep doing this all the way down. Just keep spreading those lines farther and farther apart. Now this last one, I'll do something a little bit more fun. I'm going to scribble in this next one. I'm controlling my scribbles. I'm making sure my scribbles stay inside this box. I'm going to keep scribbling until it's really dark. And then this one, I'll scribble some more. I'm going to make sure that I keep some of the space a little bit lighter. I can still see some of the paper in that box. And then lighter still. This one I like kind of a lot. It's a little bit fun to make. Then that one needs a little bit more, I think. So I can make whatever kind of lines I want in that box, just as long as if I stay in the box. And there we have it. There are, in this box I have 3 ways that you could use value in your artwork using different kinds of lines.